Welcome back to another episode of Akau TV. Here joined by Zambrosia, who's having her first start this week, and her little friend Poppy that lives with her at night time. They're both best of mates, they get on really well, so she's a great addition to the stable. Poppy, she's lovely to deal with and serves her purpose and does her job really well for all the horses that enjoy having a friend in the box. So we had a really good week last week with plenty of winners, obviously starting off with New Plymouth, El Viento, our last runner of the year. It was great to end it on a winning note. It was a good ride there by Craig Grills. 1800 metres suited him. He's a horse that we've always had a lot of time for. He's got a lot of ability. We've just been waiting for the penny to drop, so it was great to see him win so well. And then we moved to Ellerslie, where we had a splendid day. Obviously 3 winners. Drops of God for Akau Stud and Raptors Thoroughbreds was a big winner of filly. Up against the older horses is never easy, but she did it really well. And then Kinnaird in the 2-year-old race, it was a race that we had a lot of opinion for him, and he did it really well. He's a horse that's got plenty of potential going forward. He's just going to grow and get better and better with time. He's a half to John Snow, who obviously was a really good 3-year-old winning on Australian Derby, and now standing at stud and leaving winners. So he's got the pedigree, and then Towering Vision on his Derby path. He stepped up to a mile and he ran really well. It was obviously a hard day to make up ground, but he did it really nicely. It was such a good effort by him. And then we had a couple of winners on Saturday. Xantabulous, some of the wildest conditions I've ever been in on a racetrack. There was thunder and lightning, heavy rain. The meeting going ahead was a credit to all the riders and all the participants there, and she's been a mare that we've had a lot of time for. She's had a lot of setbacks along the way, but it was great to see her back in the winner's circle. And same for La Dorada. The owners have been super patient. Things didn't go right in the spring for her. Back down to Trentham, where she's won a Group 1 over that distance, was always going to be ideal for her. Great ride by Craig Grills. So we're looking forward to getting her to the Karaka Millions 3-year-old race, where we think she's going to be a very competitive challenge. So we've got 4 meetings to get through. And starting off at Otaki, we start in race 1 with a horse called Man of Style by a Reliable Man. He's been a horse that showed a lot of potential early on. He's probably flattened out a little bit in his trials. Straight up over a mile we think will really help him. Obviously Reliable Mans do get over a trip. So from that draw we'll just have to see how he jumps right and where he lands. But we do need to see a bit more from him than what he has shown at the trials. And then we move on to race 2 or 3, where this lovely daughter of Zoostar, Zambrosia, will run. She's been a filly that's also shown a lot of potential in her early trials. Probably would have liked to have seen a little more since she's turned 3, but she's got the looks. She's big and strong. She's ready to go to the races. And if she can take her 2-year-old trial form, she'll be ultra competitive in that race there on Friday. We'll just be assessed where she sits best in either race 2 or 3 on Friday morning, but she's a lovely natured horse. She's a really good girl, and I'm sure she can put her hand up with the blinkers on, and having a trip away can really grow horses up. And then we move to Saturday. We'll start off at Wanganui in race 1, a grunt filly called Petite Rocheur. She's also a filly that's shown us a lot here at home. Her last trial win was very good. The 1340 will suit her first up. Hayley Hassman does all her work here at home, and that extra 3 kilos off is going to be super beneficial to her to drop her weight down to 52 kilos. From that draw, we'll just have to be assessed how she lands, where she lands, sorry. It can get really muddly there at Wanganui, but she's a filly to follow for the future. And then we move on to race number 3, Queen's Evidence. Back to 3-year-old class will certainly help her. Her work's been really good here at home, really cannot fault her. She looks terrific. I think she's a each-way chance for sure. And then we move on into race 4, Egyptian Queen. Owners have been super patient with her. She's had a few setbacks along the way, but we've got her back to the races, and she'll be very competitive on a track that she's raced very well at in the past, having had a placing in the O'Leary Filly Stakes at black type level. We also have a South Island meeting on Saturday at Kumara on Kumara Nuggets Day. We have one runner there in the last, race number 9, Cognoscenti. It's a horse that's showing us a lot here on the training surfaces, both in the north and south, and probably just sometimes fails to put it in on race day. He can be a bit of a frustrating sort of horse, but he's in the right form. Hunter's doing a remarkable job for the team down there, including with this horse. So hopefully he can get out of the barriers quickly, have no bad luck. Tristan Moodley's one of the leading riders in the South Island. Very happy to have him on. So hopefully he can bounce back to his best there. And then we move to Ellerslie on Sunday. We have 5 horses trialling before the races that we're all really excited about. They're all group enlisted horses that are aiming at black type aspirations. And then we move to having 4 runners on the meeting, starting off on race 1 in the 2-year-old race was Zaharias. She's a filly that's been faultless here in her first 2 starts, 2 placings. She finds herself in the right race, got the right draw. Joe Doyle hops back on, who's ridden her on race day before, so he knows her well. If she can jump away quickly, I'm sure she'll be right there in the finish. Then we move on to race number 2, King's English, a royalty bred horse, obviously out of the very smart mare in English, and being by Snitch, so he certainly got the page, and it was great to see him put a wonderful effort together last time out at Tiara. We'll look to ride him much the same again, take all the bad luck out of the equation, bounce it forward, be on speed. He's a horse that certainly has the ability there, so hopefully he can carry it on. And then we move on to race 6, the Ginger Nut Salva, a race that we've targeted with day 1 right from the start. He's on a derby path. He's drawn a nice barrier. He'll get a soft run in transit. First time over ground is always a bit suspect, but the way he relaxes and the way he's built, it'll be certainly no bother to him whatsoever. And then we move on to the second to last race, number 7, Dream of the Moon. Was enormous there on Boxing Day, first up after a long layoff. And the step up the 1400 metres is certainly going to help her. She's a filly that's going really nice. So that's a wrap on all of our runners here in Matamata in the South Island. And my best bet that I'll be aiming to go for is Dream of the Moon. I thought she was enormous first up there on Boxing Day. And funny enough, she was brought out of the Magic Million sale. The team's on their way to the Gold Coast on Friday to start inspecting Friday afternoon. And we're going to try and find our next Dream of the Moon to join the stable.